120-inch screen. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Ridge Technology Screens. We did a couple videos of the pre-recorded we do those for basically when we show off our not reaction, but how our customer screens turn out when we get done coding them. This right here is being shipped over to a fellow who made a purchase. This is a 120-inch 16:9. It's a little bigger because the surface we got is a little bigger. We changed out the surface to something a little bit larger. And these are more lightweight. I said much better. They dry 10 times faster, so that's easy for basically setting them up. So we had to spray this one inside the house because we had a bit of a windy day outside, and the screen basically pulled apart a few times, and we just want to make sure it stayed secure when we coated it. So this one's done, it's finished. We did demonstrations off of it. We've already put on a couple of platforms for pictures, the whole 9 yards, and that way we can show the customer the final results and they can see how beautiful the screen turned out in a fully lit environment. Like I said, I watch a lot of demonstrations of people doing these demonstrations in these very poorly lit environments, and that's not good because if the customer decides he wants to take the screen outside that element, it should be able to work with no problem. Now, projector we're using in this demonstration, we are using a 1080p this time around. We usually use 720p's. We're using a Chrissy LWU. Let me get the model number for this one up close so we can see it. So we're using the Chrissy LWU 501i. This projector I got for around $270. This is an old, outdated eBay projector. So I'll show you how much light we have in the environment. This is where we test all our screens, screen paints, everything in this environment. As I said before, like I said, upstairs, the lighting we have upstairs is what we call our normal lighting. But to most people who do demonstrations in dark environments, it's considered to be extreme upstairs. So I don't know what you would call it. I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, this is how we do our demonstration. So we did lights out demonstration for the customer, and we did a couple of demonstrations in a couple other places where asking us about the technology and the product and so forth. So with this product, you don't have to do any painting. It's already coated already. Just take it out, you can hang it, or you can basically staple it down to a frame. It's up to you. And this is called the black silver. So the black silver, we have one 38, and then we have the black silvers. This is why they're called the black silver, because they have an interesting coating attached to them. Also allows them to be able to produce a contrast level and pick up a very high white level. So as you can see, we can have all this light in the environment. That screen is not going to wash out, it's not going to fade, none of that nonsense. And again, we don't have to go into using overpriced projectors. And that's what they do. They go and get these high-end projectors because they have to make it for what the screen can't do. And you don't have to worry about that here. You can use a 720p, 1080p. It can be a cheap projector, as long as it's not knockoff. I can't express that one enough. All right, so let's get this one started. I'm gonna let this play out. Not the whole thing, but just enough to have it on live. And you can get a chance to check out the screen. I gotta take care of some business. I'll let the screen speak for itself. Commercial.
How do you take a child from facing a short life expectancy?
There we go. I got a few business calls to make, and then after that we have to come downstairs. We're going to do the 180-inch floor display for tonight. I'll do some demonstrations for that. We'll bring an ultra short down, $60 ultra short though projector when used for that demonstration. And then let's see what else we got planned for today. Oh, we got to do two batches today. So let's just take a walk around. Back it up a little bit so you can see how much light we have in the environment. This is why I explain over and over again when doing demonstrations, the environment should have as much light as possible. And the reason why you don't see this in a lot of demonstrations is because they need that dark environment in order to be able to pick up and maintain colors. In a fully lit environment such as this, the screen will wash out. This is why when we say match, if we do a demonstration like match our ambient light environment, how many people do you think are going to match it? All right. Now, if you notice, when you look at the black background, you're not seeing a kind of a tannish color to it, a washed out image. That's something that gray screens have a bad habit of doing. They'll pull up this kind of faded, washed out image, and if that faded, washed out image comes up to black, it comes up to other colors also. Customer doesn't have to go out and spend a lot of money for an expensive projector. He doesn't have to calibrate. And he doesn't have to be stuck in a dark environment, if I didn't mention that one already. The only reason why I tell you have to be in an ambient light controlled environment. Why are you in an ambient light controlled environment anyway if you got like a 3,000, 4,000 lumen projector? You really shouldn't be in one with 1,500. But anyway, the only reason why they tell you have to be in an ambient light controlled environment because they know in a fully lit environment, and big companies do this too, because the screen's going to wash out. It's not going to do well in there. And then for those of you who say, well, I'm not going to be in a well-lit environment, I'm going to be in the dark. Guess what? Your screen don't work either in the dark either, because we showed that. We got a dedicated theater room upstairs, and that area up there is dark. Don't work up there either. Now that's our technology on a $270 projector. That cost me, or just as I already said, the $270 projector, no calibrating, old, outdated. And that shows our customers at the end of the day, if you don't want to go out and spend the money for a high-end projector, you don't have to. You're not forced to. You're not forced to calibrate. You're not forced with crazy, heavy, insane instructions. None of that. I thought we'd shoot one live. Because the last one we did live, we did the coding and all that. I just want to do it separately. Look how beautiful that image pulls up. Again, projector cost me $270. This technology can basically pick up 100% contrast level and maintain its white levels all at the same time, while doing it on a cheap eBay projector. Star screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Apparently, it pulled up the transformer version of it. Star screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
But they already pulled up the transformer for Star Screen. That's the black levels on our technology. We got that gray screen right here somewhere. Here we go. We can get this to stay up there, hopefully it does. And that's gray paint. That's a gray screen paint product right there. Told you can't see contrast. Don't pick up color all that well. They don't work. So if my customer had a screen of 120 inches of that color the screen right there in the center, this is what he'll be picking up in this environment. We're not even in a well-lit environment. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. Told you. We're at 5,000 lumens, 1080p. And this is why I explained to you that gray screens are no good. As you can see, it's not even picking up properly. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
So this shows our customer at the end of the day why you made the best choice for going with our technology, because if he had went with a gray screen product, his screen would have washed out. And I said before, we're sitting in the dark and that screen can't even pull up proper color. This is the reason why you do not want to go with, I'm just going to stay up there, not. Do not want to go with a gray screen. Best choice is our product, because like I said, we can show you time and time again that the gray product is not going to do too well. Green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. If it can't see contrast, it can't see color. Now we're in the dark. I said with 5,000 lumens, 1080p. And like I said, a gray screen paint product, you're not going to be able to see it. Can't pull up, can't accept color. Purple screen.
Getting that from YouTube. At Petco.
Let me get one out of commercial now. So imagine the customer went out and he got himself a gray screen paint. This is what he'll be dealing with. A screen that can't even maintain color, not even in the dark at 5,000 lumens. As I explained before, the more powerful the projector, some people think if they go out and get a projector of a higher caliber of lumens that they're going to be able to maintain that color. No, you are literally washing out your screen even faster. If the screen is going to have an issue maintaining in a fully lit environment, and then you're going to hit the screen with an additional 4,000 lumens of light, yeah, you just washed your screen. You're whitewashing your screen. This is why gray screens are horrible for venue projectors. And the projector we have behind us is a venue projector we're using right now. And we can't even see the color correctly. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There you go. So again, customer made the best choice by dealing with our company, because now he can just go and get any kind of projector, as long as it's name brand, and he can basically display a solid, real color, red, blue, and green in contrast. He can do it in a fully lit environment. He can do it with the lights out and maintain a beautiful image. This is why you're told to calibrate when you're dealing with the gray screen. This is why you're told to use a certain select projector when you're using gray screens, because they do not pick up color correctly. Gray screens cannot max out on ultra short throw projectors of over 120, 150 and up, because the bigger the screen, the more light the screen is going to take, and the faster it's going to fade, the faster it's going to wash out. Gray screens cannot be used outside. They are horrible in dedicated theater room setups. Anybody want to argue that one? Guess what? I got one upstairs. It's going to be kind of hard to argue that one if you don't have one. They are an obsolete product. And the customer made the best choice by getting our product, because he can produce a beautiful, solid, deep red without calibrating. And even in the dark, he's going to maintain a beautiful image where the gray product is not. This is why we tell you, stay away from those gray screens. Here we go. I say the same thing when you get a knockoff projector. Stay away from knockoff projectors. Stay away from gray screens. Now, if a gray screen, as I said before, can produce contrast is needed to produce these deep, rich colors. The darker the screen, the better the contrast, but keep in mind, you're still going to have to maintain a white level at the same time. So if your paint is too dark, if your coating is too dark, then your white levels are not going to pull through, and your screen's going to come up dirty and unwatchable. You have to have a perfect balance, and they can't see the perfect balance because I watch demonstrations and I don't see it. If I don't see that certain tone in there, I automatically know from the door what's going to happen to your screen. So the fact that they have to be in dark environments, they have to use certain pieces of equipment to be able to boost their screen's abilities and also use calibrating, clearly shows that the screen is having issues. Now imagine that. When people sit there and say in the dark, I'm going to, no, you're not going to pull up a proper image in the dark. Let's go over here and let's go to black background, goldfish.
Getting that from YouTube.
In this demonstration, background must remain black at all times. And you see the gray screen can only pick up bright colors, but even with bright colors, it's completely washed out every time the goldfish passes over it. So if you can't pick up on 5,000 lumens, well, that's not good. Really not good at all. So no, gray screen paints do not work with venue projectors. I got enough of them over there. Anyone wants to argue that one? I got enough venue projectors over here to choke a horse. So at the end of the day, no. I've seen y'all selection of projectors. Y'all don't even own venues at the end of the day. NEC NP1150 is not a venue projector. It's actually a home theater projector, even though it does have interchangeable lenses. I've had 3 of them. And it's basically stated as a home theater. The Chrissy projector I have behind you is a venue projector. AK Nature Desire.
Getting that from YouTube.
So my customers, they want the best. They want me to pick up that 100% contrast level. Just pretty much just tells you that just because you're in the dark, when people go in the dark with these gray screens, trust me, you're not seeing color. You may think you're seeing color, but you're not seeing it. It's the same thing when people have contrast. I'm going to try contrast shifting. More like, what's the word for it? When contrast shifting, we say you're getting dark shades of gray. You're never going to get black. That's not going to happen. But you're going to get a darker shade of gray. These screens produce black. When you're using pixel shifting technology, people swear they're seeing actual 4K. No, you're not. You're not seeing 4K. You're seeing a compressed. Pixels push tighter together to give you a sharper, brighter image. But you do not pick up native 4K. It's designed to trick your eyes to make you think you're seeing 4K, but you're not. Same thing with gray screens. And those projectors that use that 2 million or 3 million to 1 contrast to trick you to think you're seeing a black level, but you're not seeing it. You stick that against a 100% black screen and you'll watch your screen fade completely out. Can't pick it up. Now another huge sign we see is when people are trying to portray contrast levels in the dark with the gray screen. You see how light that background is around here? See all that right there? See how light that is? That's not supposed to look like that. That's supposed to be black. Remember, these are designed for OLED screens, so OLED TVs. But they'll pinpoint on the skin right here. Like, look how dark the level is. They'll keep you away from that area right there. See right there, the background? The background is very important because the background displays whether or not your screen is picking up a 100% contrast level or not. And come on, people. I mean, good gracious. Seriously? I mean, I really have to. I can't express this enough. Who in their right mind in this decade in time, or any decade in time, is literally going to believe that a gray screen is going to pick up a 100% contrast level? Literally, how? I like to call people stupid, but I'm going to have to on this one. How stupid are you to believe that a gray screen is going to pick up a 100% contrast level? Yeah, sure. That was the case. What would be the point of making the freaking OLEDs and just giving us great big old RCA tubes and whatever they do with it and calibrate it to get to that black level or whatever? But no, you have to have straight black to do that.
This is supersonic Wi-Fi from Xfinity. It's fast. Like riding a cheetah fast. Isn't that right, girl? It can connect.
Now, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about people who have made these statements. You know who they are. They have made these statements. No. I can see now where it all comes from. I clearly can see. I'm not trying to be rude here and trying to bring back old demons and all, but after watching that demonstration on that 2, 4, 6, 8, and literally hearing those individuals speak on things they know nothing about at the end of the day, I can see where they came up with this phony baloney nonsense that a gray screen is going to pull a 100% contrast. Yeah, So my customer basically came out on top by basically going out and buying a real screen that can do a real 100% contrast level, and not something that is fake at the end of the day. That's going to require you to pay a lot of money for a projector in order to get the image to push up that way. And for anyone who wants to sit there and argue and say that's not true, well, guess what? We got a 1-year swap out on a 720p waiting to test that theory, but again, it won't make the jump. Oh well. That background's supposed to be black, by the way. That's supposed to be a deep blue, not a washed out blue. So that tannish popping up all over the screen. My avatar's on leash. Now, interesting, the gray screen in the middle. Do you think if we put on the Skyworth food demonstration with all those whites in it, do you think it would be able to turn the technology we have here so dark so it's unwatchable? Let's test that theory. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
So let me tell you what's going to happen. The intro is going to come on. That gray screen is going to wash out. Gray screen is going to produce a white level, but our screen is not going to turn dark where it's going to be unwatchable, as in some people try to proclaim. And then on top of that, every color that pops up, that gray screen is going to wash out, even at 5,000 lumens. Full 1080p projector. We're at 1920 by 1200 on the unit we're using right now. This is a venue. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's begin. As I told you, can't pick up the intro screen. Does not turn our screen so black so you can't see it. As it's supposed to be dark, you can't see it. Washed out on the cup. White levels are way too high. You can't even see the shine in the pan. Now mind you, our technology is supposed to be so dark you can't see it. Told you, wash out, wash out. Can't pick up proper color because the white level is way too high. And at that, we're on a 5,000 lumen projector, so there's a ton of light striking that screen, and that screen is washing out because it can't capture light. Also proving that it's not ambient light rejection technology. Where's the dark screen at? I keep saying on YouTube, this dark screen is supposed to be so black you can't see it. So that's the interesting thing. We could maintain white levels with no problem. The problem you have with the gray screen, they can't see color or contrast. LG beta fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
Background is supposed to be black. This is an OLED demonstration, which means background must remain black at all times. So, my theory, and we're going to be talking about this probably later on today, we're going to be doing some venue projector demonstrations. Do gray screens work with venue projectors? No, they don't. At all. They wash out. There you go. So for you companies out there thinking about going with a great product, don't do it. You'll mess your screen up. You'll waste your time. You'll waste your money. Because as I said before, they can't see contrast and they can't see color. They can pick up a white level, but the white level is too high because, again, it washes everything out. And we're at a Chrissy 5,000 lumen 1080p projector, 1920 by 1200 in the dark. This is what my customer is going to get when he goes home and sets his screen up. If the screen was gray, he'd be getting that with sitting in the middle. All right, well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. I got some things to do today. I got a few phone calls to make. When I'm done from here, I'm going to be down here painting this giant black screen right into the floor. Not this floor, actually, the screen over here. And we'll be doing some demonstrations off of that. I got to put my wallpaper screen back up because this one's already finished and done for the customer. It's good to go. That's why when I do these demonstrations, I put a little bit of everything on there. I put some color, we put contrast, put everything up there. We're going to do it half and half, too. I'll get it on the door this one. This is why we advise when people are doing these products to be upfront and don't do the smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors, for me, is calibrating. That's smoke and mirrors. Because what about for the customer who doesn't want to calibrate his projector at the end of the day? He might not want to. So you're going to show an advantage in color because he doesn't calibrate. No, I don't believe you should be calibrating projectors. If your screen is working correctly, and for what these projectors are designed to do, why are you in there calibrating a $3,000 or even $1,800 or $15 machine at the end of the day? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, because your colors don't come out correctly. That's what it is. This is the reason why when we show you the different color patterns, our screen can pull up a solid red. They can't even pick up in the dark at 5,000 lumens. That's why you calibrate, because your colors don't come out correctly. We don't have that issue. When you're using projectors that have, again, even if it has 50,000, even if it has 75,000, 2 million, 5 million, whatever, you are still not producing, you're producing a higher contrast level than your customer that will have a projector that will not be the same caliber as yours. Smoke and mirrors at the end of the day. Those ambient light controlled environments, whether it be certified or gray screen paints, I'm sorry, but that's smoke and mirrors. Yeah. How about you light up the environment like this, grab yourself a 720p and go at it and see what happens. See if your stuff will pick up, but we all know it's not. This screen came out. Gorgeous. Yeah, these are beautiful. All right. Yeah, I love this stuff. One folded up, get the other one down, the other one's up. All right, we're done here because I got to go in and I got to put my wallpaper back up. I got to do some more demonstrations on the 39. We got some more demonstrations on some more videos I saw for probably tomorrow. I don't know if I'm doing any more today. All right, thank you all. Just showing you exactly what our customers get at the end of the day and explaining to the customer, those who are out there shopping for screens for the first time, be careful. Make sure you ask a lot of questions. You want to see those screens with a lot of contrast. You're seeing a gray screen, request contrast levels, request fully lit environments, Or no, don't deal with that whole ambient light rejection nonsense. No, if someone tells you, okay, we can't do the screen because it's not ambient light rejection, then don't buy it if it's not ambient light rejection, because that's the latest technology when it comes to projection screens and reflecting light. That ambient light rejection technology is very important. And if a screen doesn't have it, and like I said, every screen has that technology, there is no point in getting it. As I said before, gray screens, again, we've been working with that stuff for many years. It doesn't do exactly what it does now compared to the technology. If this was back then, technology today, if this was back then, before gunmetals or any of these darker screens came out, when we were just strictly designing gray screen paints, yeah, this stuff would be fantastic. But now, the only thing a gray screen is a little bit of a bump up from a white screen. But being able to go against gunmetal screens, actual real gunmetal screens at the end of the day, not a screen that's gray, a little gray, and say it's gunmetal. No, an actual gunmetal screen. Then yeah. But other than that, the gray screen purpose is pretty much an upgraded version of a white screen. That's what it was designed to do when it first came out. And then when gunmetal technology came out, that pretty much became obsolete, because why in the world would you you got a darker screen? Number one, when you got the darker gray screen, it wasn't for its white levels. It was for basically producing better contrast and color. Yeah, no one actually upgrades from a white screen and says, yeah, I upgraded from a white screen to a gray screen because I wanted higher white levels. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my entire life. You should just stuck with the white screen because that literally produces the higher white level. No, the reason why they upgrade it because, again, the gray screen produces a slight better contrast and a slight better color level, but we all know that the white levels are going to drop. So if anyone comes up there and saying, yeah, but the white levels are higher on here, no, actually they're not. All gray screens, even gunmetal screens, come off ivory on a white level because they can't produce a 100% white level to begin with. Only a white screen can do that. So the reason why this screen right here came into play before you guys ever knew that this stuff ever existed, when I was actually making this stuff, these particular screens were to give you a better color and better contrast. But now you have a gunmetal technology that pops up, much darker screen, has its reflective surface to be to maintain its white levels, and it's just better, but it just costs more. So people still use these at the end of the day because, again, a lot of people are not going to spend $3,000, $5,000 for a 100-inch screen. But now you have this technology, which is actually much more advanced to gunmetal because, again, we got the sample sheets all up there to back up our tech. And then at the end of the day, we can show you the difference on why this is no longer needed. And you don't have to worry about spending $3,000 to $5,000 for a gunmetal screen because you have technology that's better than gunmetal. All right, well, that being said, customer's going to enjoy his screen, and at least he can use it in a fully lit environment if he chooses to. It ultra short throw projector without spending extra money. He can use an old projector. It doesn't make a difference what the contrast is going to be. The screen's going to pull it regardless, and his color's not going to wash out. No calibrated needed. With that being said, got to go, and God bless.